players ahead of Sunday?
So that's a strange question. No, of course, I'm not going to plan to rest any player because it's a big game, and I think it's, for me, I said it before the first fixture, and I can say it one more time, that they have much better players, in my opinion, than maybe the league table shows at the moment. And I think it's going to take a while maybe for Ruben Amorim to bring this out of the players. I don't know, but they will definitely go up, and they are much better than the league table shows at the moment.
Mentioned it and we were listening to something else, we kind of were like, yeah, they're playing Man United on Sunday.
It's massive, like that rivalry. I don't need to tell everyone at home and what that rivalry is, and to have that and it come out as well, it just, I don't know, it seems a bit strange.
But it feels like that's maybe part of the kind of step up as well. I mean, as we said, when he made previous comments, one of them was actually the morning after victory over Southampton. Again, it's after the game, it's a game that isn't of the same magnitude. Whereas this, and even though maybe we're seeing in the sense of Liverpool, or Salah not necessarily looking at Manchester United in the same way he used to, it still is, as you say, it's the biggest fixture in English football. The two most successful clubs, the two best supported clubs, most popular around the world, with all of that history to it. And not like, despite form, that can produce strange results. So, I mean, yeah, once Karen brought it up, you think it was maybe a slightly odd time just to change the chemistry of the build-up almost.
Yeah. Is that rivalry more historic now? Because, I mean, the clubs are just indifferent.
I mean, it'll always be there, though, that kind of local animosity. And you only have to speak to the fans and who they most want to beat. Yeah. That never goes away. But you're absolutely right in terms of just... I mean, it's been a very strange historical rivalry in that they've never really been very good for England's two most successful clubs and at the top at the same time. Yeah, so there's been very few seasons, actually, where they've even gone up against each other in a title race. I think the only one in the Premier League era was 08-09. And it's always been like one has been way below. But of course, the big difference this time, one has been below. The big difference this time is that one is way below. And a gap, I don't think, we haven't seen for decades between the two.
Do you feel like it's more historic now? It's not Man United, Liverpool of old?
No, I think it always is. I think both, you know, as you said, you speak to the fans, it's a rivalry. It doesn't matter, that rivalry goes back so many years and so many meaningful matches. So it's still there. Like you said, the competitiveness, I think there's a big gap between both of them, but come that whistle, you can't take away also what Man United have done on one-off games over the last couple of seasons. Yeah. There is a gulf, but they can step up. Will they? I don't think they will, but you can't rule that off. And I think even Arne Slot said, look, they are playing better than where it says, but
that is a slightly strange thing at the moment, because even, like, I mean, if you go back to the 70s and 80s, when Liverpool were dominant, United used to pride themselves on getting these, as you mentioned, these sudden results out of nowhere against their great rivals, and they'd rise to the game. And similarly, when Ferguson was dominant for 2 decades, Liverpool did the same, and they were always even games. But that's what's been so strange about this period, that Liverpool have really made their superiority count in such a kind of extreme way. And actually, these, not surprise results, but these moments when the team on lesser form gets a result, they've been fewer and far between. In fact, but the last one was really... And that was a shock in itself when Ten Hag claimed his first win at Manchester United in his own first game against Liverpool back in September 2022, and how Amorim could do with that now.
Can I just say, Arne Slot has come in and had to deal with so much. Firstly, stepping into Jurgen Klopp's shoes, then being, you know, at the forefront of this title race, and now these 3 players, the contracts, being out of contracts in the summer. He had to answer in nearly every press conference.
And he's so calm.
Yeah.
Like, I love him, I do. To do what to follow Klopp, who's obviously an absolute legend, and then just to come in and he's, you know, made it look so easy. He's just guy-like, but no, it's for him. He's just got to get Trent playing as good as possible, and he has. Like he said, you know, there's not a lot he can do. It's kind of the contract's coming to an end. And Liverpool obviously would love to have him, but he's just got to keep him playing well and keeping him fit and sharp. And unfortunately, it's probably not in Arne Slot's hands. He's just got to keep the player motivated and help him get up the table.
Yeah, I think that goal, obviously, the deflection. We can all see it's a massive deflection, but he scored. The celebration, the celebration for me was telling. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know who that's directed at, mind, because, I mean...
At you, the media, at us.
Well, the media aren't the ones that put in the bid. It was Real Madrid that put in the bid. But I must say, actually, on that, I do find it's very strange. In terms of the kind of the way the window and the market works, I thought it was very odd behaviour from Madrid. I mean, like, it feels like that's the sort of move that might only serve to irritate people rather than make something likelier. The only time, actually, the only similar situation was when they wanted Kylian Mbappe in a similar situation last year, and they put in quite a low offer to try and get him out of Paris Saint-Germain a year before his contract. It feels like it's kind of, it's almost like a power play with the club he's at. Because obviously Liverpool were never going to engage in that. They were never going to accept it. But then it just almost creates this extra strand to the storyline about a player who, as we say, is almost certain to leave.
But he can play in the knockout stage of the Champions League, can't he? So, you know, they're super light on defence. I'm
Well, that's
talking,
true,
I'm
yeah,
not trying to
yeah.
upset Liverpool fans, but I'm thinking Real Madrid, if they're going to go for him, they've tried to accelerate this move and say, look, we might get him for nothing anyway. Do you want to? You want 20 million if you're going to walk? But they're trying to accelerate it with how many injuries at the back that they've got. I'm thinking we're in a title race in Madrid, in the La Liga, and we're light in terms of what we need if we want to retain the Champions League. But yeah, it is very cheeky. Though.
Yeah.